What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So, first off, I want to say congratulations to Dillian Whyte on his victory over Alexander Povetkin. He got the job done. Fourth round stoppage. You know, now I'm going to break some things down from different angles. And I can't really say what is, I can't say where he goes from here, but let's do this, okay? Let's start with the fight itself. First off, um, this is and anything I say is not to take anything away from any fighter. This is me telling you what I saw and what I think. And you can't take anything away from what Whyte did, okay? Because bottom line is the same way he was expected to dominate last time he did until he got caught and got knocked out. Okay, he's overcome that demon by getting a fourth round stoppage. Now, Alexander Povetkin didn't even protest, so to me it looked like he was just glad it was over. Now, Whyte came in aggressive from the start. He hurt him from the very first round, early in the first round, hurt him. He was able to pretty much he was catching with that jab all night. You know, he pretty much did what he was supposed to, and it really wasn't too much different. I mean, I see one thing I saw for sure is like whenever Povetkin would come in, he'd do that lean like he's about to, how he has that little, 1-2 he does, and you don't know what he's gonna throw, but pretty much whenever he would try to get his feet set, I would notice how Dillian Whyte would circle out to his right. So okay, he's watching out for that uppercut. And basically, look, he got the job done. Now, not to take nothing away, like I said, not to take anything away from Whyte. From the very first fight, I said Povetkin looks like a shot fighter. He looks like an aging fighter. Like you could see, like his timing is not there. Now he's still strong. He can still punch. Okay, but his timing is not there. His reflexes is not the same. This fight, he looked flabby. He didn't look tight at all. He looked really soft around the gut, around the obliques. He just looked like he didn't know what the hell he wanted to do in the ring. And basically, Dillian Whyte, he did something. I'm gonna say that for later. But Dillian Whyte, I saw what he was doing. It was pretty much the same thing. Dillian Whyte, when I watch him, I always say like he had this wobbly leg thing, man. He does. I don't know. It's like I don't know his balance or something. He just like wobbles, man. I don't know what the hell that is. What do you even call it? He just wobbles around the ring like he has balance problems at times, and like I don't understand what the hell that is, but he does it. And I'm watching him. He looked tired in the first round. He was breathing with his mouth open when he went back to the corner. And I'm saying, okay, is he tired or is he just breathing like that? Because I'm watching and he really was breathing with his mouth open. He looked tired, but he looked like he was in better shape than Povetkin was. Okay, now could he have been overtrained? That's a possibility too, because he was training constantly, and they kept saying the fight was off and it was getting pushed back. And I'm pretty sure he didn't want to get careless and get caught slipping, and then so that could have been it too. He was throwing a lot of wild punches when he would jump on Povetkin, like he was doing that windmill shit that Wilder does. He was really like throwing wild punches. And I'm like, all right, I know he's anxious to get him out of there, but like, all right, be careful before you get caught, man. Like, and I'm watching, I'm just sitting there, observing, and Povetkin wasn't able to capitalize, so he got the job done. That's what matters. But going forward, it's not about just Povetkin. He got past Povetkin, so now he can put that behind him. Now, the name that came up first was Deontay Wilder. And pretty much, Deontay Wilder says that he said before a couple of months ago. He said he wanted Andy Ruiz, and if he couldn't get Andy Ruiz, he wanted Dillian Whyte. Okay. You didn't hear anything from Wilder after the fight. Now, a lot of people are saying, they want to see that fight, myself included. But let's just remember, okay, this is not Deontay Wilder speaking. Now, he said that, but again, like I said, it's not about just saying I want to fight this guy, I want to fight this guy. Term sheets, contracts, that's what you go through the necessary process to make this happen. Now, Dillian Whyte's performance overall was this. Dillian Whyte likes to fight. He likes to. That's him. He likes to. If you hit him, he want to get you back. That's Dillian. He has shown some patience at times where he'll take a step back, he'll get out of harm's way, try to slow your momentum down. But Dillian Whyte likes to get in there. It's not just the fact he likes to get in there. It's just certain things. For example, he was keeping his left hand really low. His left hand, he never had his left hand up here. His left hand was like damn near like stomach, like where his stomach is. It was out in front of him, but it wasn't up. And I've said this before, and I feel the same way. I think he can beat Wilder, but I also think Wilder can beat him. I think that for Wilder to beat, the difference is this. I think Dillian Whyte can outbox Wilder, and he can knock Wilder out. I don't see Wilder being able to outbox Dillian. I really don't. He just doesn't have enough in his arsenal. The problem is, in all honesty, when Dillian gets careless like that, a lot of times Dillian throws a very slow, lazy jab, and he leaves himself wide open. One thing about Wilder will lose rounds. We've seen him lose rounds to lesser fighters. We've seen him lose to fighters that's not as good as Dillian. Lose rounds and he'll get the knockout. So Wilder does have patience. He'll wait his spot. And Dillian, one thing he has to do is not reach. He did it a couple of times in that fight where he reached for shots and then he's off balance and he's wide open to get hit. Povetkin just wasn't able to make him pay for it. This time he wasn't. And with Wilder, he does throw the 1-2 quick. Wilder's not going to stand and see Wilder. This is one thing people say wrong. Wilder's not like Tyson and Joe Frazier. He's not like George Foreman. He doesn't want to punch when you're punching. Wilder likes to step back, keep his arms out in front of him to, keep that range. And he basically waits. And then once he feels like he got you, that's when he jumps in and tries to take you out. And he does the same thing with that windmill shit. Now, Dillian Whyte has the power to knock him out. There's no question about that. He has the power to knock Dillian Whyte out. I think between the two of them, it comes to who makes the least mistakes. I think Dillian Whyte is a better fighter than Wilder. This fight, you didn't see too much boxing. Really, he wanted to get him out of there. And basically, the longer Dillian Whyte, the longer Povetkin hangs in there, the more dangerous it's going to be for the fact that he still can punch. So he can land that shot. Now, truth be told, yeah, Povetkin looked terrible, man. He just looked like he didn't know what the hell he wanted to do. He looked bad physically, and just like I said in the first fight, you could see like he's a fading fighter. You could see it, and I just don't think that, whether it was COVID or whether it was excuses, I don't know how much confidence he had in beating Whyte in a rematch, because to be honest with you, even for Dillian to come out and try to take him out, Dillian said he was going to do that, right? And Povetkin basically, he just had no answers for anything. He didn't even have a plan A. Fuck a plan B, plan C. He didn't even have a plan A. What was Povetkin doing? He just basically was just in there moving around, throwing shots, and no real rhyme or reason. I'm watching, I'm just like, yeah, he can't find the range, inside or outside. He looks slow. Dillian Whyte, like I said, I'm watching and I'm just looking at certain vulnerabilities, and it's like, yeah, Dillian, I don't know what it is with this guy with his legs, man. But Dillian, like I said, he moves and then all of a sudden he does a little stumble like he's off balance, and he does this every goddamn fight he has. I don't know what the hell is wrong with this man's legs, but he does it every time. And he was coming in a straight line. That's not what you want to do fighting Wilder, because we know Wilder got the right hand. But let's be real, he does throw that shit quick, and when he throws it with the 1-2. You know, those shots where Whyte was throwing at Povetkin, Wilder's a taller fighter. So even if he wants to walk Wilder down, fine. But he can't come in with his head straight like that. And then two, he also can't come in lunging, opening, throwing those wild shots. You know, when you see Wilder get outboxed by guys and then all of a sudden they get careless and open up, whether it was Ortiz, I can't remember the other guys' names because, but just certain guys you saw outboxing him, and they get caught, get careless, like I said, open up, throw wild shots, and he catch him with a sneaky shot inside. And that's the thing with Dillian Whyte. That low slit, when you throw a slow, lazy jab, Wilder's going to counter on top of that shit. He's 6'7", Dillian's what, 6'3", 6'4", whatever. So he's going to counter on top of that shit. And Wilder is faster than Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte, he showed mental toughness because the way he got knocked out, now people felt like it was too soon for him to jump right back in there. So maybe the fight being postponed might have helped him as well. Who knows? Doesn't matter now. It's all over with. But he showed mental toughness because he went there and he went after Povetkin. He didn't go in there like, I'm scared to get hit. I'm worried about his power. He went in there and went after him. So he went in there, he believed in himself, he did what he had to do. Okay, he didn't take a year off, 2 years off, and then make a bunch of excuses, and he went right back in there. He wanted to go right back in there. He said it right after the first fight. I'm ready to, let's make it. He wanted to make that fight happen, which was a great sign. Okay? Now, Wilder, on the other hand, hasn't fought in the whole year because of one loss. This is Dillian's second. You know, that was his second, and he wanted to get right back in there. So we don't know where Deontay Wilder is in terms of his mental state. We don't know. I don't think that, I don't think that he really knows what he wants to do. Okay. And he also said something that I found interesting. Okay. Because I said, if you guys remember several videos ago, when Trevor Bryant first won that title, I said, I think that they were fattening up Trevor Bryant or Bryant if he would have won, for a better, more credible name. Think about this, y'all. When he won that title, right? Let's be real. Nobody was really talking about this guy. They're still not talking about this guy. And I'm saying, you know what? I don't really think that they see this guy as a credible name. But I'm thinking maybe they want to bring back Deontay Wilder and say, hey, look, man, why don't you come back and, because look, in the rankings, you know how, like, Deontay was still ranked high. He was 3. I think he's number 2 now, something like that. Or he was 4, now he's number 3, something like that. But anyway, my thing was this, okay? If Dillian Whyte goes after that WBA title, I don't think anybody can see Trevor Bryant actually beating Dillian Whyte. And I said, I think that they're waiting to fatten them up for, like, somebody at some point is going to challenge for that title. Okay? And Trevor Bryant, I don't see him beating Usyk. I don't see him beating Wilder. I don't see him beating Dillian. And we don't know Wilder. We just don't know what his mental state is. So we can't, act like this. That loss is not a fact. It's not a factor. Now, Check this out. Dillian Whyte said he want to go fight for the WBA title. He said, why not? It's a title. And the more real estate you hold, the more bargaining chips you have. People got to always understand that. Which is why I'm thinking now, if Wilder really wants something, he could easily come back. He could look. Even though Trevor Bryant holds a title, Trevor Bryant is not a good fighter. So he could easily come back and look at the story. He came back and defeated a world champion. You know, now we're not stupid. We know Trevor Bryant is not. We know his skill set is not world class level. Okay, so check this out. If Dillian Whyte goes that route and he fights Trevor Bryant and gets that title, here's my thing. I don't see Deontay Wilder coming back and jumping in the ring with a top guy right away. And that's why I say it would be perfect for him to fight Trevor Bryant, because Trevor Bryant, come on, he's a C-class fighter, man. But at the same time, it's like, well, if Dillian Whyte goes and gets the title, now if Wilder's interested in still fighting, he wants to come back and fight, I don't see him picking anybody dangerous for a comeback fight. We'll see. Let's see what happens. But I don't see that happening. Who does he target? I don't know. Now, I've been hearing rumors that they're saying Wilder's being forced to fight Dillian Whyte, right? Instead of Tyson Fury. And what I'm saying is, well, if that's the case, right? Especially after all these LDBC channels claimed that he won, arbitration and all of that, then they wouldn't be able to force him to do anything. So I don't even know if that's how true that story is. And a lot of times those guys just make up stories just to ask them to talk about. Because I've been looking for that all over. I haven't seen anything about he's being forced to fight. But that was the choice of words from LDBC channels. Now, I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Uchina Ali. Okay, so you asked me, you said, yo, Aries, I think you should do a video on why Finkel and JD's has been so quiet. Right? So imagine Eddie Hearn doing the same after AJ lost to Ruiz. Salute, brother. Salute to you, Uchima Ali. Now, shout out, salute, and let me just say, the reason, to me, in my opinion, that I think they're so quiet is simply because I don't think Deontay Wilder has made his mind up about what he wants to do. Because think about this. The few videos that Deontay Wilder have made, when he finally spoke, it was that cryptic video talking about the egg weight and the dent in the skull. And he did the other video when he sat in the car and was talking. And more recently, he did a video with another guy who, and basically the questions that were asked in this particular video, basically Wilder is still talking about, him and Fury won. They weren't even talking about the second fight. They were talking about the first fight. So, for someone who says, I've moved on from Cheetah Fury, but you're still bringing up Fury, you're still talking about the past, you're not talking about going forward. But you're sitting there smiling, acting cocky, and trying to act confident, but, well, what's going on? Who are you fighting next? So, I don't think that he's sure about anything. And I believe, to be honest, that for him to not, remember he responded to Dillian when he lost. I believe in glass a glass. Now, where's the response now? You said you want Ruiz. If you can't get Ruiz, you want Whyte. Well, we know that Ruiz is getting ready to fight Chris Arreola. So what his plans are going forward, none of us know. And I believe that's why they're so silent about everything. I mean, there's no need to go back into Glovegate, but he's stuck on it. He's stuck on it, right? It's like this, right? A simple analogy. You're talking to a girl. That girl is sitting there telling you, oh, and that guy did this to me, and I can't believe him after all I did for him. I don't care. You know what? I'm over him. I don't care about him no more. And I remember one time no, you're still over him. That's why you're still feeling the effects of what he did. That's why you're still talking about him. Same thing. Same thing. The guy is he has not moved on. He has not moved on. We haven't seen one training video of Wilder. We haven't seen him in the gym. Nothing that pertains to boxing that will benefit him going forward. All we keep hearing is about the past. So I don't think Wilder's ready to get back in the ring. And also, if he does decide to get back in the ring and he jumps in there thinking he's going to beat Dillian Whyte, let me say this too. Okay, okay. I think Dillian Whyte did a great job. I'm just pointing out things that can be a danger against a guy like Wilder. Okay, because even though Wilder's limited, I'm just saying with his quickness, and Dillian does throw a lazy jab. He does throw it slow a lot of times, and sometimes he throws like wing and looping shot, like where he reach and he leaves his chin wide open. He can't do that with Wilder. But personally, I think Dillian is. I think Dillian now, especially after winning that rematch in the way that he should have won, and he keeps saying, I shouldn't have lost the first time. Yeah. So he realizes, you know what, it happened. Okay, I'm over that though. And the reason, in my opinion, he said we could do it again if you want, because he want that revenge of next time I'll probably knock him out in the first round. He like I wanna outdo him. I don't want to be him one up, me one. He want to be two up, two. I get that. Even though I don't want to see a third fight with them, and I doubt that's going to happen. But Dillian Whyte has showed mental toughness in that. Like Wilder has yet to show that mental toughness like that. He's still hurting over that loss. Believe me, everybody talk about that. Oh, having that don't mean nothing. No, yes it does. And trust me, that having that one instead of that it's bothering Wilder right now. That's why this guy's not back in the ring. And he claimed he was medically cleared to fight and everything, right? So what's keeping him out the ring? And mind you, okay, people have been saying Wilder's 34 for like 3 goddamn years now. Wilder has to at least be 35, 36. For like 3 years, everybody kept saying he's 34. He said, hell no, he's not still 34. He's only going to get older. And the longer he stays out the ring, the more discouraging it's going to be for him to get back in, to take his training serious. And one thing is this, right? We don't know if he's depressed or and you don't have to be depressed to the point where you're getting suicidal, but just sometimes you get to the point where you just don't have ambition. You feel like, man, you just don't have any enthusiasm to do anything. That could be it too. And if he was training, he don't have to show us anything new that he learned, but just to even show videos of himself in the gym training, hitting the bag, nothing. And he said, he was ready since October. Then he turned around, remember, and said, well, I'll tell you the truth, I haven't even been training. And I told you, if you look at it, he looks skinny as shit, man. The dude is 6'7". He looked like a fucking toothpick. When I saw him sitting there, I'm like, look narrow. He looked, when he's in shape, he at least widens out at the shoulders and the back. He looked really skinny. And so, for that one loss to bother him that bad, you can't jump back in the ring because you want to prove the people wrong. You can't jump back in the ring because you just want to shut some people's mouth. You have to jump back in that ring because that hunger is there. You want it. That desire. You got that eye of the tiger back. You got that feel like, no, I want to get in here and destroy something. Not because of these little other reasons of I just want to prove something. You have to want it, man. And I don't think Deontay wants it right now. You might want it inside. It's just like sometimes when you want to go to the gym and you have certain things happen, maybe somebody at work pissed you off, you might be going through something personal. It's like your mind's like, all right, I'm going to the gym, but your body is just like, you just don't have it that day. That might happen 2 days, 3 days, a week. That week might turn to a month. That month might turn to 2-3 months. Sometimes it just happens to people. They just don't have it. And it's like one thing, one day, boom, the spark hits them and it's like, okay. And they get back in there. And for him to come back after not fighting a year, I don't see him fighting, Dillian Whyte. I don't think Dillian Whyte should put his career on hold or slow things down, waiting for Deontay Wilder or even waiting for the AJ Fury fight. I think that he should do what he said. If he can get that fight with Trevor Bryant, win that WBA, and you know what? Like I said, he got some real estate now. Who knows? Maybe him and Andy Ruiz will get it on after that. Eddie Hearn saying he want Whyte and Wilder. See, here's my thing, okay? The intrigue in that fight is because we know both guys got the capability of knocking the other guy out. we've seen that, like I said, Dillian showed mental toughness and he dug down and he did what he had to do. We haven't yet seen that from Wilder because since he's lost, he hasn't done anything. So I don't expect Wilder to come back and fight nobody in the top. I expect him to come back and fight the easiest fight that he can have, and let's see what happens after that. If he gets back in the ring. It's not that easy when you're discouraged, man. And that's what I see in him. The way I see it, he's discouraged. That he just that loss, he can't get over it. And so he can sit there and smile. He can have interviews with LDBC guys. They can sit there and praise him and build him up. But it's not going to help his confidence. And I just don't see him, like I didn't even watch the video. I saw a title of a video saying that Deontay Wilder hints at fighting Wilder. Why do you have to hint at anything? You want the fight, make it known. Also, let's not forget that, Eddie Hearn said right there, he said, hey, that Wilder sent him a message, sent Dillian Whyte a text saying, I would never give you that fight. So, I mean, saying you want the fight is one thing. And also, maybe Wilder thought Povetkin was going to beat Whyte. And maybe if he'd have lost, he'd have said, hey, well, you know what? The truth is, nobody wanted to see me and Povetkin. That was supposed to fight happen. That didn't happen. And maybe he felt like, well, if he would have won, I'd have given him the fight, which you just lost. So you really can't sit back and play mediator or dictator for who's going to do what. Now, this is just me just saying this, but I'm just saying, at the same time, looking at what Povetkin has now with his short height and short reach, I think Wilder will knock him out too. Because I don't think Povetkin didn't show that he can get inside. He's not at this stage, not now, not this Povetkin, But at the same time, with what Dillian Whyte did, like I said, Dillian Whyte he did a good job, man. He did a good job. But I still see those same vulnerabilities. So this is what makes the fight intriguing, because one thing that I feel, if Whyte and Wilder fight, somebody get knocked out. Now, if Dillian Whyte can correct that wobbly leg shit, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, when he's moving, especially when he moves to his right, he does this little thing, like if you throw a shot at him, he covers up, and like he kind of stumbles and wobbles to the side. I don't know what the fuck, he loses his balance, man. And when he does that, he's like wide open every time he does it. And I'm like, what is wrong with this guy's legs, man? He's always done this shit. I don't know what the fuck it is, but he does it all the time. So I'm like, man, what? I'm just like, I don't know what you call that shit, right? Other than he wobbles, he stumbles. But at the same time, he does that all the time. Wilder is not a technical fighter. But like I said, he is quick with that 1-2. And if Whyte reaches like that and leaves himself open, man, that can be, it could be night for him. But at the same time, we know that Whyte can knock out Wilder. And right now, I think the way Whyte should be on a high right now. Okay, not because he beat Povetkin, but not just because he beat Povetkin, but because he beat the guy that, like he said, he should have never lost in the first place, but it happened. So he didn't lose any confidence. He didn't lose any confidence. So personally, if they was to fight, I'm going with Whyte. Now, I think Whyte wins the fight against Wilder. Okay. But I'm also understanding that there's certain things he can't do. He cannot throw those shots where he leans, especially like when he throws those body shots, when he reaches for it, and he cannot do that kind of stuff against Wilder. It wouldn't be wise. Wilder, same old Wilder. Think about this, y'all. Ever since Mark Whelan is gone, right? Who was Wilder's trainer? We still don't know anything about anything, right? What's going on in his camp? Wilder has not made his mind up about what he wants to do. And hey, also, Arlette Constable, shout out to you. Peace and love, right? And everybody, okay? Everybody. But most definitely, y'all too. My man, Eric Davies, shout out, salute. Listen, y'all. I don't know what's next for Dillian Whyte, but like I said, he's talking about that WBA, and the fact that Wilder isn't. The fact that Wilder isn't, man, is like, it goes to show you the point of what I'm saying. Because if you're thinking as a promoter, you don't think a promoter can say, Wilder, listen, man, Trevor Bryant is not a good fighter. All right? He's an easy win. He has the WBA. You get that, you got some real estate now. You understand what I'm saying? You have real estate now. And if you look at the ranking system there, okay, he got some easy guys to choose from if they want to protect and shield him. And if not, even if let's say he beats Trevor Bryant, and then let's just say, for example, he fights Andy Ruiz. Okay, cool. But the point is, he's going in as champion. So you understand? It's one of these things where, in all honesty, even if that was to happen, you would think the redirection is to redirect him back to undisputed. Okay? But my thing is, if the fact that he hasn't even made any moves to touch that WBA title, and even his fan base sitting here talking about how the WBC screwed him and all that. Well, the WBA is a whole nother organization. So why would you sit back and not capitalize on something that's out there for you to take? That's easy takings. That's easy takings, man. I mean, if Trevor Bryant somehow got lucky and beat Dillian Whyte, then he has a credible name on his resume, but I don't see him beating Dillian Whyte. That's the easy title right there. I don't see, like, Andy Ruiz is going after Chris Arreola. Okay, anybody. Alexander Usyk. There's so many guys that can go after the WBA title. Do you see or hear any negotiations with Trevor Bryant fighting anybody? No. So I feel like what we're seeing right now is, Dillian Whyte back in a good position. Also, what I don't like, now if this was true, is they said Dillian Whyte and Wilder, when they said about him being forced to fight him, that it's a title eliminator to see who's the mandatory. Like, bro, Wilder just got his ass beat. Whyte just came back and beat the guy that beat him. How do you get beat and then walk right back into a title eliminator? So even if that would be the case, they're like, oh wow, he's being tricked and he's been forced into fighting Dillian. What do you mean forced? This is an opportunity he didn't even earn. Because if this is a spot for mandatory, you just got beat. Now all of a sudden you want mandatory? You right back in the mandatory spot? But do y'all really think that Wilder want to walk right into the fire? It's been over a year. Y'all think he really want that? He really want to walk back and jump in there with somebody like Dillian Whyte right now? First? Nah. If he comes back and Dillian Whyte is his first fight especially, I'm definitely going Dillian Whyte to knock him out, man. But at the same time, like I said, man, this is all right now speculation about what, and like I don't want to do the speculating thing. Like, it's like I'm not saying that something's happening because another channel said it, but I've saw several channels talking, and certainly I couldn't even really get into that, like just watching the videos, because it's like I already see what this is. And basically, they all say the same things. Now, on another note, if you guys are not aware, I just thought it was kind of funny that Fanon and 7-8 Sports are beefing with each other, right? And Fanon made a comment about, all you 7-8 IQ motherfuckers need to stay up off my damn channel. Stay up out my chat. I'm serious. Whatever. And then 7-8 Sports made a comment about, saying he kicked Fanon out of the LDBC. And I laughed my ass off because you want to know what's crazy? Fanon all of a sudden ends up giving Terrence Crawford some props now. And I say, ain't that something? There's a little discrepancy going on between the crew. So now all of a sudden you can finally say something good about Terrence Crawford. You can say something in a good way about this brother. And see, that's my whole thing about these guys. They target certain people and say, this is who we're going to cheer for, this is who we're going to boo. Because if you're LDBC, they all have the same agenda. They all talk about the same things. They release the same type of videos the same times. So, whatever this guy's talking about today, yeah, the rest of them are talking about it too. Even if they put different videos out, they all talk about the same things. And basically, if you're not a PBC fighter, they don't care nothing about you. So all that we stand for the black, like I've said before, no, they are all about, are, if you're a part of a certain, set that we like to back up. And when I look at what they've been doing, it's just the same thing. So I don't even, I don't look forward to their material. It just pops up in the boxing sections. I'm not subscribed to any of them, never will be. And it was just funny to me, listening to them, disrespect each other, because I said, you see, it's so funny because if we have a disagreement, then all of a sudden we no longer can rock with each other because you said this and I said this and I felt this. Now all of a sudden the truth comes out. So if he's saying, for him to say, "Are you 78 IQ motherfuckers," right? He was taking a shot at him. And that means the whole time you had to feel like he had a low IQ. He doesn't know shit about boxing. What you know about boxing and what you're biased about are two different things. Because Fanon is just as biased as 7'8" and the rest of these guys. So what I say is, in all honesty, they can talk like Wilder's being forced into this fight. Like that's not right. He's being forced into this fight. First thing they start talking about, and they're gonna say stuff like, but yet, meanwhile, Tyson Fury was able to get out of his contract. No, the contract sat on Shelly Finkel's desk and expired. Remember? That was the story, right? Y'all didn't deny it. So my whole thing about that is, if Wilder does, if there was a case where him and Whyte was fighting for a title, for eliminator, like for a mandatory spot, you don't even deserve that spot. You just got beaten and you just walk back and you fighting for a mandatory spot again? Like, nah. And basically, how long was Dillian your mandatory? And Mauricio Suleiman, it came out of his mouth and he turned around and said he was #1 contender, not mandatory. After he said he was mandatory. That came out of his mouth. Remember, I had some idiots say, "Oh, Mauricio Suleiman never said that," and I went back and put the clip. It's in my archive. I went up and played the clip of him saying it, and they did the same thing that they always do. They shut up and just disappear because they're talking about what they don't know. But I think that Dillian Whyte, he did a good job, and like I said, the vulnerabilities that I've seen before, they're still there. So he's gonna, it will be safer, it will be wiser for him to try to tighten up on that defense and not have himself in a position where he's getting hit with shots that he shouldn't get hit with, man. Because, for him, it'll be easy. Look, just like Arthur Spilka and all these other guys, was able to outbox him, Gerald Washington. Dillian Whyte's much better than those guys. And they were easily outboxing Deontay Wilder and got caught. So the same thing, way he was outboxing Povetkin, that's the thing I'm saying, is he can be outboxing Deontay Wilder. But those are the mistakes, especially when you keep making them. Deontay's patient. He will wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and let round after round go by. And we seen it happen with Ortiz. So, because I don't see Wilder outboxing him. But look, salute Dillian Whyte. I think he did a good job, man. And like I said, he got that over. He got over that, put that behind him. And we see where he goes from now on, man. But yeah, I hope that he does go after that WBA title, get some real estate. And you know what? Hopefully, the situation with Tyson Fury and AJ, nothing's happening. We're down to like 2 weeks now. This is the last. They got 2 more weeks left to finalize this situation, and it should not take this damn long. So. Anyway, I think I'm going to speak about that next. But look, y'all, never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.